Hello, my name is Emma, and let me tell you something about 10-year-old me. She was obsessed with two things: Five Nights at Freddy's and My Little Pony. Now let me tell you, when this movie came out, my world flipped. I was obsessed with this concept. I watched this movie over and over, and later when Rainbow Rocks came out, it was the same ordeal. So naturally, I decided to revisit it in my grown age to see how it held up. And, look, it's nothing to write home about. The story is basic, and of course, the purpose of anything introduced into the franchise is to sell toys, so I won't fault it for that. It's not an impossible watch, but I feel like if I didn't have nostalgia on my side, I would have turned it off. One thing, though, I will comment on is the character designs. From janky proportions and outfits, no variety in body types, I knew I had to do a redesign. But I also knew I had another big thing I had to take into consideration before going into this. The toy lines. MLP, no matter how good the show is, will always be tied to their products. In every iteration, the goal is to sell toys. So Hasbro obviously put out a doll line, and to major success, being one of the most successful spin-offs in the MLP FIM generation. I myself had a handful of these dolls, but I'm just gonna say it. Looking at the enormous selection of these girls, most of them are barely passable. And I know we're spoiled now with the quality of the doll lines currently, such as LOL, Rainbow High, and the new Monster High reboot, but I'm sure it didn't have to be this bad. So as I go through my designs of the girls, I will also be picking out a couple dolls of the characters that stuck out to me, whether they're good or bad, and we'll go over them. Also, I would like to say, if you like these designs already or love the dolls, know that this is just my opinion. I don't mean any harm. I just wanted to give a little bit of my input and poke some fun, and you can continue to like whatever you want. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get to the first design. Going into this, I knew I wanted three things that the series lacked: unique body types, outfits that are more detailed and thought out, and better proportions and anatomy. I took inspiration from the Monster High reboot and their inclusion of different body types, so I decided to go with 3 different body types and share them between the girls, so it's kind of equal in a little representation. I didn't go too far, but I think it's better than what we had. Rarity's design in the movie is one I'm kind of on the fence about. It's not bad, but for some reason it just doesn't scream her to me, and I know people will disagree, but that's just how I feel. I feel like it makes her look a little young, and I always see her as more mature, so I guess it just doesn't translate to me. Her dolls, as most of the dolls on my list, vary greatly, but she does have some stinkers for sure. For example, this Rainbow Rocks Rarity, that it just looks gross. I really dislike the Rainbow Rocks line. I feel like they just didn't know what to do for most of these dolls. The dress looks awful. It just doesn't look like something she'd wear. And the streak of piss, and I don't know why they chose this streak of piss hair color. Her accessories are cool, I guess. I don't know, that guitar's kind of cool, and the pony's cute. I don't know why they didn't go for just a blue streak of hair instead of yellow green. This is another Rainbow Rocks doll that I think is a bit better and a little more cohesive. Most of the Equestria girls, though, like this, are stiff as a board with no articulation. I do like the blue in the hair, though. I think it goes good with her color scheme. Okay, now this is where it gets good, people. The mini dolls were where it was at. Okay, they did pretty much everything right. This doll is so cute. I don't know, everything on these dolls is just exaggerated perfectly. And just look at her hair, man. Look at her hair. Oh, so cute. They definitely had way more direction than anything in the main line of dolls. Like 100%, no question. Getting into my design, I went with her having a thicker body type, similar to the new Draculaura body type, which I love, by the way. I'm not a doll collector, but if I were to get into it, she would definitely be the first one I would buy. Like, yeah, no question. I wanted her to look slightly older. I gave her kind of a 50s Marilyn Monroe look. I took inspiration off of some of her outfits. Not really directly, just kind of from my mind. I'll put up some pictures, but you know. Her outfit compared to my other designs is a little simplified, but I think it adds a little elegance. I realize now she kind of looks like a Monster High doll I had as a kid. I think her name is Cat something, I don't remember. But yeah, I guess I just took a little inspiration from her. I kept the color scheme pretty similar to the original design. I brought in more purple and blue. I made it more of a main color. I like the gold, so I kept that. And yeah, I think she turned out okay. She's not my favorite out of the bunch. I think there is some things I could have improved on, but you know, gotta just let it go sometimes. So yeah, here she is. I think she's cute.
Fluttershy.
Fluttershy's design is one I don't hate as much. You know, she is my favorite, so you know, I'm a little biased, but I think the only problem I have with her overall thing is the color green they used. I think they should have used a way more turquoise kind of green, kind of like her Grand Galloping Gala outfit. Also, the polka dots on her boots are a little random. That's a little nitpicky, but
Oh well.
so Fluttershy's dolls are, you know, interesting. This doll was a part of a reboot, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing from what I've seen. I can tell that this is like later on. Something about them is just kind of uncanny to me. They are definitely a improvement from previous dolls, but I still think they're a little weird. For some reason, this doll is just giving me like Hannah Montana vibes. The biggest problem I have with most of Fluttershy's dolls is that they do not get her face right ever, like ever. There's not one Fluttershy doll where I'm like, yes, that's her. Like, no. I could not tell you. I remember this doll from when I was into Equestria Girls. I kind of wanted this doll, I think, at one point. There will be a lot of Rainbow Rocks on this list. Yeah. I remember I only really liked the headphones. I don't know. I was weird as a kid. I just like loved stuff like this. But looking at, they do not make sense. Her ears are... Inconsistencies aside, the colors on this doll just Rainbow Rocks is so random. They just threw a bunch of shit together and it was like this whole vibe. It just does not work for most of the main six. Like, no. Another mini doll, and I would like to specifically point this one out because I had this one as a child and honestly, I still love them. They're so good. I specifically wanted to point this one out because it improves upon the original design. Look at the green they used. Look at the green they used. It's perfect. They also changed the little boot socks, and I think, I don't know, it just works. It's just so good. The sculpting, the outfit, they look more pleasing in this style than they do in the movie's style. I don't know, I really like these dolls. You're gonna see these pop up a lot. I wanted Fluttershy to be flowy, kind of indie. I will be honest, I haven't watched past the second movie. I should have for this movie, but I didn't think it was that important. If I do a part 2 to this, I will watch all the movies, but for right now, I don't think it's necessary. I gave her the tall and skinny body type because I always think that kind of fits her. I always think of her as a filly in the show, so that's just how I imagine her. I gave her a crossbody bag and leaned into the green. I know she doesn't have a lot of green in her pony design, but I think that color really complements her, so I just went with that. This body type resembles the original designs the most. I figured I should include those body types, I just improved upon them and made the proportions a little better, I hope. She's my favorite out of all the designs I did. I think she turned out probably the best, in my opinion. Applejack's movie design makes the most sense as is. It's very straightforward. I think since they used such a desaturated orange in her skin, they could have brought in a more vibrant orange in her clothing, since it's 80% of her pony design. I do, however, really love the boots and the shirt, and I think it really fits the country vibe, obviously. Her dolls surprisingly are the best I've seen out of the 6 girls. Surprising because Applejack's not the most popular character in the fandom, but nevertheless, I love this doll. Honestly, she's beautiful. Her face is amazing. I just love the outfit. I think it's one of the best Equestria Girl doll outfit I've seen. There is one problem, however, with this doll. I looked at a different picture, and I mean, you could play a couple games of tic-tac-toe on that forehead, and under that hair, it just keeps going. She would look crazy bald. That's all I'm gonna say. She really looks like those FNAF danglers. And it's a shame because this is a beautiful doll. This doll is so cluttered in the worst way possible. The amount of patterns and stuff is so unnecessary. The outfit doesn't even make sense for her. And though I don't think every character should be put in a box with no changes to their style, if you put this doll in grayscale and took away all the apple details, I would not be able to tell you that's Applejack. And that is a problem when you're trying to make a identifiable character. To end on some good AJ, because there surprisingly is a lot, I'll go through a couple quickly. This mini doll, obviously, I gotta bring these up whenever I can. Improves upon the design again, adds perfect details, look at the stitching, look at the boots, perfect. More. This, hands down, is the best Rainbow Rocks doll I've seen. Her outfit, her hair, her face, beautiful. Look at her surfboard. Oh my god, so cute. Alright, now for my AJ. I elevated her outfit by bringing in more accents and patterns. I wanted her to look like she was in a rodeo or something of the sort. Also, as I said before about her design, I wanted to add more orange into her outfit, and I think I did it successfully. I can't really tell if it doesn't look right or not, but I think it's okay. I took inspiration from her original shirt and got rid of the blue and replaced it with a brown because I wanted her to have a really earthy vibe to her. Also, I added a little ribbon on the back of her hat because it's cute. There she is.
Something really good, something really crazy that you could never
Rainbow Dash's design is really what inspired me to do this. It's always been one of my least favorites out of the bunch, and I think it's because the base they used for the first wave of skirt and big boots really didn't fit the sporty vibe. She got those lace-up boot Converse, those Converse pants. Her dolls are also, pretty terrible. This one is from the reboot. I don't know if it's a budget doll. It kind of looks like a budget doll. Yeah, it probably is now that I'm looking at it. It doesn't have any articulation, but it's still bad. It doesn't matter. Her hair is lacking all of the rainbow. Her outfit is frumpy and has no direction. This is not something I think this character would wear. Maybe the shoes, but that's about it. The wings are kind of cool though. Kind of ugly too, but kind of cool. Another horrible Rainbow Rocks, you know. The skirt is awful. This design feels very dated for the time period it was coming out, and her face is strange. The eyes kind of have that 9-yard stare. It's funny how the only character that would actually work with Rainbow Rocks has a terrible design anyway. Make it make sense? I don't know. This is just another terrible doll. I don't know if this is a budget doll, but honestly, all of the Equestria Girl dolls look like budget dolls. All I gotta say is, what is this green? It's like a diarrhea green. Why did they choose these colors for her? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, for my Rainbow Dash design, I knew I wanted to go heavily in the jock direction, head of every team kind of vibe. I gave her a Letterman's jacket, a fanny pack. I really wanted her to be a roller skater because I feel like a big staple of My Little Pony is roller skating for some reason. I feel like in every iteration, every generation, they always have a character that's roller skating. I don't know if they had it in the show at all, but they definitely had it in these movies. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. I don't know, it's like nostalgic to me or something. I brought like more of her eye color into her design because I don't think it was lacking in the original, but I just brought more of it in. I also gave her hair like a little lightning bolt at the end. I thought that was like cool, and I like that idea because it like highlights her cutie mark. Yeah, here she is. She is probably my second favorite. I don't know, let me know what you think.
Get me out of here!
No, you're mine.
Pinkie Pie is another one that really made me want to do this. I hate the pink they used for her skirt. It reminds me of the default colors in MS Paint. I don't know. Something about it just clashes so badly with her hair. In my opinion, if you love this design, it's fine, but I get the direction they were going in, but I feel like it was way too much. Start with the good, get into the bad. They just always exaggerate. Like, look at her hair. The sculpting's so good. They fixed the pink. Ugh, beautiful. Where's her neck? The face actually is decent. The color scheme's not that bad, but I feel like if this is the promotional picture you're using to sell the doll, it shouldn't look like that. That's all I'm gonna say. This doll is actually very cute, and it actually has articulation. I will say I'm not a big fan of the dress or random yellow leg. I don't know, but this one's actually pretty decent. For moi, I felt like overalls really fit her for some reason. I gave her a color block dress and brought her cutie mark colors in more. I brought in more yellow because I felt like the original was really lacking yellow. I feel like whenever they designed these dolls, they forgot colors that they had already. Like, I feel like they could have just used what they had instead of bringing random junk. I gave her rain boots. I don't know why I gave her rain boots now, but I felt like it was kind of cute. I did bring in the bows because I did like the bows. I thought that was cute. And gave her a little confetti in her hair. I think she turned out pretty cute. Something's off about it, but I don't know what.
Twilight Sparkle, you really did prove that friendship is magic.
Thanks, Miss America.
Last but not least, You know what? I actually do like a lot about Twilight's design. I like the bow tie and her leg warmers. I think the leg warmers was the best use I saw out of the boot formula. Is that the right word? Formula? I don't know. I don't really like the black shoes though. I think Mary Jane's would have been better. I know this doll is technically Equestria Girl Universe Twilight, but I've noticed on her doll specifically how bad the glasses are. Who approved this glasses design? I would like to know, because that does not look right. It's not even like they have weird proportions. How did they mess up so badly? They did not need to make the glasses look like that. The hair is bad. The hair is very bad. Her forehead looks huge and she has bangs. I don't even know how they did that. It looks like they put a piece of gum and put it on her head. The outfit is completely random. I don't know the lore. I don't know why she has giant wings. It's probably not even a part of anything because they do the randomest imaginable. Calming down with this beauty. It's like they read my mind because they fix everything I say. Her leg warmers are cuter than they were, and they gave her what? Mary Jane's, thank you. But in all honesty though, look at the hair, okay? That is a beautiful thing. I want all these dolls now. I don't even like to display anything like that, but I want all of them. For my design, I wanted Twilight to have a much more royal look. I made her a little more dressed up in case I ever redesign e.g. Twilight, because there would be way more distinction between them, and I think they really should have made Twilight's design way more formal than they did to give her even more of a disconnect from the students in the high school. I don't know, I just think that's kind of a good idea. And it gives like makeover potential. Missed opportunity. I made her look a little more fancy. I didn't go overboard, but I just added little elements that kind of elevated it to like the crown hair clip and the gloves. I thought that kind of made it look more fancy. Yeah, with that, we're all good. This was a lot of fun to do. It's something I would definitely do another part of in the future if I'm up to it. I don't know. I mean, the background characters, they need a little work. I will say my designs are not perfect by any means. This is just to critique media that I was really involved in. This is just a direction I would personally go in to design these girls. I'm not saying like I'm the end all be all, like this is perfect. No, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, so just keep that in mind. If you have any suggestions or opinions on how you feel, if you got this far, leave a comment. If you want to see more, subscribe, like the video. I plan on making more videos. I'm still very new to this, but hopefully I'm improving. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.